Hey everyone, how's it going? I hope y'all are having a great day. Now, today I'm super happy because I'm going to be talking about plants, and I know that I promised you all that I would make a video where I talk about my favorite house plants at the moment, and I did this last year, and I want to do it again this year, and hopefully we can make a tradition out of it because, as you all know, plants mean so much to me. They give me so much happiness and calm, and I want to be able to share that with you all. For those of you who love plants or are inspired to take care of plants or want to learn more about them. And so, right behind me, I have a whole bunch of plants. And now, this is definitely not my entire collection, but it is most of it. And so, I wanted to dive right into this and start talking to you all about the plants that I love. So, let's get started with this one. Now, this is a vine that we rescued. We saw it next to the trash, and it was fairly dead or almost dying when we found it. And I did mention this plant in another video, so you probably have already seen it before. But this is a gorgeous, gorgeous vine. And when we first rescued it, it was mostly yellow and brown. It had hardly any leaves, they were all falling apart. But I could tell that there was some hope to it because some of the leaves are green, and I knew that maybe with some care and some love, it could revive itself. And the thing that I found out is that the previous owners were overwatering it. So now I make sure that it gets the right amount of water that it needs. And ever since then, we've had it for a little while now, and it has definitely grown a lot. And it is super happy. And I love being able to rescue that plant. Um, yeah, it's too bad. It's so hard to take care of plants. And I feel like a lot of people kind of disregard their plants once they start dying instead of doing the research to figure out why it is that they're not doing well. And so I definitely recommend learning about your plants before you get them. So this is my Satin Pothos, which is a gorgeous, gorgeous plant. And I recently made a video about how I got some clippings from this plant and I started to propagate them. So this plant is beautiful. It is a vine. It grows really quickly. Um, it's a little short right now because I did cut off a lot of it so that I could propagate it. But one thing I love about this plant is that it's very shiny. It has silver specks that when you look at them up close, it's super sparkly. So really love that. And then from the cuttings, I got a couple that I planted. And so these are a few which are growing and are super happy. And then here is another, which is really nice. And I did have another one, if you saw that video. I did plant these cuttings into 3 different pots, but I already gave one of them to a friend because these are such good gifts, especially for plant lovers. Um, let's see. Oh, and I'm also continuing the propagation process. So with the same Satin Pothos plants, I have a few more cuttings. And there's another vine that I rescued that unfortunately died, but I was able to get some of the clippings from it. So this is it. I have this in another jar back here that I'm trying to revive, and it's just a standard little vine. And hopefully when the roots grow just a tad longer, I'm going to plant it. And I hope that it survives and does well. Okay, so this plant is an Asparagus Fern. And now let me grab another one. So this is another Asparagus Fern. This is the first one that we got. Oh, I have a hair. So this is the first Asparagus Fern that we got. And this one's name is Matcha. And it is so cute. I had never seen one of these plants before. Oh my gosh, I get hair everywhere. I swear I lose so much hair every day, and now it's getting in the plants. But anyways, so this plant is so soft to the touch. It is so wispy looking and beautiful, and there's something so calming about this plant. It can be a little bit hard to take care of them because they need a lot of humidity, and their fronds turn brown fairly easily if they're not in the right conditions. But I love to see them grow. These plants grow really fast. The moment it has another new stalk, in like a few days, it's a brand new leaf. And so I find that fascinating. And then along with that one, we have this plant, which is Its name is Latte, and again, it's an asparagus fern, and this one's much larger. Um, and one thing that happened with this one is it wasn't getting enough sunlight, so it started growing extremely tall. So now we have it in a place that's much closer to the window so that it can get ample sunlight. But again, it's super beautiful. Except that I find that this one, Latte, has a lot of little thorns, and so it's a lot harder to pet Latte. It's a lot easier to pet Matcha. I'm not sure why Matcha hasn't developed thorns, but yeah, they're beautiful plants and definitely make really good bath buddies. So when I take a bath, because they need so much humidity, I like to put them there next to me so they can absorb a lot of that humidity. Okay, next I'm going to talk about this plant, which I've mentioned in a video before. And I keep forgetting what this plant's name is, but I call it my pterodactyl plant because it reminds me of a pterodactyl. And look, it's got a new leaf. I love watching new leaves unravel. I get so excited when there's a new leaf, and I really love this plant. I don't know what to call it. I was thinking about calling it Harry Potter because when we got it, it had a bit of a cut here that healed, but it made me think of Harry Potter's scar. So let me know what you think about that name, Harry Potter. But for now, I just call it my pterodactyl plant, and I really love this plant. Um, it's super glossy. It's really nice. There's something I really love plants with unique textures, and so this is definitely I feel very close to this plant. I love it so much, and it is gorgeous. Next, I'm going to talk about my Maidenhair. Now, this is a very heavy pot. There's a lot of soil in this. So one of my most watched videos is of me talking about this Maidenhair, and that was a very spontaneous video to make. I basically bought this Maidenhair, and I was like, look, I bought a new plant, and I'm so happy about it. And I knew that a Maidenhair would be tough to take care of. I'd done some research on it. I didn't know how tough it would be to take care of them. These plants, any little change in their environment, they decide that they're not happy and their fronds turn brown and then they just die. And so I've had it for a really long time now. I went through a winter where it kind of went dormant and now it's regrowing, which is nice, but oh man, if you're looking for a low maintenance plant, this is not the one for you. But if you do know a lot about plants and you want to take a risk and you know you can take care of this one, then I encourage you to get it because it is really aesthetic and I absolutely love watching new fronds grow. They kind of curl and then uncurl as they grow and they're really beautiful. They need a lot of humidity, a lot of humidity. Um, but yeah, they're gorgeous plants and I really like it. Now this next plant is a prayer plant, and what's wonderful about these plants that I find really fascinating is that they move. So in the morning and like during the day, they open up and then at night they fold up. So it kind of looks like the plant is praying, all its leaves fold up. It's really interesting. I don't really know that many plants that move at least so frequently. And so to see this one close up is fascinating. And we originally got this one because Chris really loved this plant, but of course, because I'm the plant person in the family, I'm the one who's been taking care of it more than anyone, but he still takes care of it occasionally, of course. Oh, also, isn't it interesting how so many of these terracotta plants grow like this kind of mold around them whenever the pot has a lot of water in it? It's completely harmless. I know it looks strange, but for all of you out there that love plants, I'm sure you're very aware of this type of white substance that grows on your pots. But anyways, yeah, this is a really beautiful plant, a prayer plant. I've been loving watching it grow new leaves, and I'm excited for it to get a lot larger. Next, I want to talk about this jade plant. And now, jade plants aesthetically are not my favorite plant in the world, but one thing that I do love about these is that they are resilient. I mean, we've had this plant for quite a while now, and I don't think there's anything that could kill it. This plant can survive anything. I mean, if you're looking for a plant that you don't have to take care of, that you don't want to have to think about, get a jade plant. And I know there's a lot of you out there that probably love plants, but don't trust yourself with them. So if you're one of those people, I recommend a jade plant. We've had this for a couple of years now, and it has grown beautifully. It is happy. And if we forget to water it for an extended period of time, it's okay. If we overwater it, it's okay. It knows how to bounce back. And so, yeah, definitely recommend a jade plant. Okay, now I'm going to talk about this prickly little plant. Now, this is a cactus, and I'm not really sure what type of cactus it is. All I know is that cacti are really easy to take care of. They need a lot of sunlight, and we don't live in a place with a lot of sunlight, but I hope that it'll be able to survive next to the window. And this is definitely very prickly. I enjoy petting the spikes, although I have hurt myself a couple times already. But yeah, it's a really nice plant, easy to take care of, and I think it's really aesthetic, and I really like the little ceramic um, plant pot that it comes in. And so yeah, very easy to take care of. You just have to water it every few weeks whenever it needs water. Just kind of read the plants. The more you read about plants, the more you can kind of have a sixth sense about them and like figure out what they need. And so yeah, if you're looking for an easy to take care of plant, I recommend a cactus. And here I have another one of these, another cactus. So this one doesn't have any spikes, so I can touch it. Chris thinks it looks like a tongue. I think it does as well, but like I said, I love plants that have unique textures, and so I was really into this one when I saw it. And yeah, it's very low maintenance. It hardly needs any water, and when it does need water, it usually gets sunken in a little bit, so you're like, oh, I'll give it a little bit of water. And yeah, it's just a really aesthetic plant. Now for succulents, I know that I've mentioned this one before, but this is my black little succulent. And as you can tell, it's mostly green on the inside, but the outside's very black. And I love this little succulent. Succulents and cacti, they're all really easy to take care of. And I gravitated towards this one because I loved the deep, dark color of it. Um, and so, yeah, it's just a really nice plant. And it's in my little lush face mask pot that I made out of little pots. Always good to reuse, recycle, reduce. But yeah, I really love this little succulent, and it's really pretty and it seems really happy, so that's all that matters. And now these are three other succulents that I have, and they're all in the same little pot. And so these, I'm not sure what type of succulents they are, but they are a really nice, almost like I don't know what color that is. It's like a greenish blue color, but then the tips are all pink. And you always know that a succulent with, like, for example, pink points is happy when the pink on the edges is bright pink. When the pink color starts to fade away, that usually means it needs more sunlight. And so these are very pink on the edges, so that means it's pretty happy. And yeah, they're really beautiful, and I love that they're all bunched together, and I'm excited to see them grow. And yeah, this is just such a cute little succulent garden that I have here. So pretty. Now this is ground cover, and I know many of you may not be that impressed by ground cover, but I love ground cover. These are called baby's tears. I'm sure they have a scientific name, but that's what people refer to it, like when you go to any garden center. And so this is ground cover that's sort of meant to be probably on your ground in the garden, or to kind of fill empty spaces, um, anywhere in your garden, in pots, that kind of thing. But I love it as a plant. I think that it's so pretty. I really enjoy petting it. Now this is a section that I took from a larger pot that I have out on the balcony where I have a bunch of ground cover, but I kind of wanted to take a little bit and keep it inside because I think it's so nice. Like I said, I love to pet it. It's really therapeutic, and it's a really beautiful plant. And what I like about this plant is that occasionally it'll tell you when it doesn't have enough water, but so it kind of gets really droopy. But the moment you give it water, like within a few hours, it's springy again, it's happy, it's good, it's really easy to take care of. If you're looking for ground cover, I recommend Baby's Tears. I have heard that it can be quite invasive, so it's really hard to get rid of it. Like if you have a backyard and you plant this, it's really hard to actually get rid of it once it kind of takes over. But for those of you who love ground cover, I think you'd be really happy with this one. And so yeah, this is my ground cover, and I really love how it kind of hangs um, down the pot. And lastly, I wanted to talk about my bird of paradise, which is behind me right here. And this plant has made me so happy. I have wanted a bird of paradise for so long now, and we put it next to the window. It's right next to the TV, so while we're watching TV, we can see the bird of paradise right next to it. It kind of creates a very relaxing ambiance. It's really pleasing to look at, and ever since we've had it, it's grown 2 new leaves, which they grow in such fascinating ways. It's sort of like they're curled up and then they unfold slowly. And so it's been really cool to watch them grow. And I really hope that the bird paradise will do okay in these cloudy winter days that will soon be coming up in a few months. Because I know bird of paradise is like a lot of sunshine. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, my bird of paradise has made me so happy. I've done my best to take care of it. As always with plants, I'm always learning, doing research, and it's sometimes a bit of trial and error, but I care about my plants so much, and because of that, that's why I do so much research so that I can learn more about them and make sure that when I adopt a new plant, I know as much of it as I can beforehand so I can take care of it. But of course, it's hard sometimes, you know, it's a learning process. But yeah, that's basically all that I want to share with you all. These are the plants that I have been loving so much. I hope that this has inspired you to maybe adopt a plant of your own. If you have any questions about plants, you can leave them in the comments and I would love to answer them. I'm not an expert in any means, but I would love to let you know what I've learned. And yeah, I really hope that you all love this video. Let me know what plants that I showed you really liked, because I would love to know what kind of plants you like. And I hope that you all have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! Oh, before I leave, do you like my shirt? It says, "Different is good." I thought it was fitting. Anyways, I will see you. Bye!